couldn't breathe. The weight of the revelation pressed down on me, suffocating me. I had erased Ethan's memories. I had been part of this twisted experiment, and somehow I had forgotten it all. My mind kept trying to protect me from the truth, but it was no use. The truth was there, staring me in the face, and I couldn't hide from it anymore. Ethan stood there in front of me, his eyes wide with disbelief.
You erased my memories.
He whispered, the words hitting me like a punch in the gut.
Why would you do that? Why?
I couldn't speak. My throat felt dry, as if the words I needed to say were trapped inside me, clawing at my chest. I didn't mean to. I didn't know, but even as I thought it, I realized how hollow those words were. They wouldn't change what had happened. They wouldn't change the fact that I had been part of something horrible. I had been complicit. And now Ethan knew. He knew the truth. I didn't mean for it to go this far, I said finally, my voice barely a whisper. My hands shook as I clenched them into fists, trying to keep myself together. I didn't know what was happening. I didn't know they were using me, using you. Ethan's gaze was intense, like he was seeing me for the first time.
Who are they?
He asked, his voice shaking with the weight of the question.
Who's been pulling the strings? Who's been controlling us?
I closed my eyes, trying to block out the overwhelming sense of guilt that was threatening to swallow me whole. I had no answers. I didn't know how to explain it. All I knew was that there was a bigger picture, a darker truth that had been hidden from both of us. The more I tried to make sense of it, the more it slipped through my fingers. The grey-eyed man, the one who had been haunting our memories, the one who had been manipulating us both. I had to know who he was. I had to understand how he was connected to this nightmare we were both trapped in. I took a step back, my mind racing. I think we're being used, Ethan, I said, my voice cracking with the weight of the words. I think they've been controlling us, erasing our memories, and using us as part of some kind of experiment.
Experiment?
Ethan repeated, his voice sharp with disbelief.
What kind of experiment?
I don't know, I said, shaking my head. But I think it's bigger than just you and me. I think they've been doing this for years, using people like us as subjects in a memory manipulation project. They've been controlling us, changing us. Ethan didn't say anything for a long time. His eyes were focused on something far away, lost in thought. I could see the wheels turning in his head, the questions piling up one after another. He was trying to process everything, just like I was. Finally, he spoke.
How do we stop it? How do we take back what's been taken from us?
I met his gaze, and for the first time, I felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe there was a way out of this. Maybe there was a way to fight back, to take control of our own minds again. But the truth was, I didn't know where to begin. The deeper I dug, the more I realized that the people behind this project were powerful, dangerous, and had their hands in places I couldn't even begin to understand. First, we need to find out who's behind this, I said, my voice steady now, though my heart was still pounding. We need to understand who's controlling us and why. And once we know that, maybe we can figure out how to stop them. Ethan nodded slowly, his eyes narrowing.
And the gray-eyed man? What about him?
I hesitated. I think he's part of it. He's been manipulating us, erasing our memories, keeping us in the dark. But I don't know who he is or how he's involved. All I know is that he's been in our lives for a long time, watching us. A cold shiver ran down my spine as I thought about the grey-eyed man. Was he still out there? Was he watching us right now? The feeling that he was always close, always lurking in the background, made my skin crawl.
We need to find him.
Ethan said, his voice firm.
We need to know who he is and why he's been doing this to us.
I nodded, the weight of the task ahead settling heavily on my shoulders. We will. But first, we need to get more information. We need to understand everything about this project. The more we know, the better chance we'll have of stopping it. Ethan's face hardened with resolve.
I will do whatever it takes. I won't let them control me anymore.
We spent the next few hours going through every file, every document I had ever kept. My office felt like a tomb, the air thick with the weight of everything that had been hidden for so long. The more we read, the more the pieces began to fall into place. But with each new discovery came a new wave of confusion and fear. The project was real. The experiments were real. And we had been part of them for as long as we could remember, or didn't remember. There were pages and pages of notes, research documents detailing the process of memory manipulation. Some of the papers were more technical, filled with jargon I didn't understand. But the ones that made the most sense were the ones that described the subjects, people who had undergone the memory erasure procedure. And as I read through them, my stomach churned. The names on the pages, some of them were familiar, others were not. But there was one name that stood out, and it sent a cold shiver down my spine. Dr. Evelyn Marks. My name was on the documents. My signature was on the research reports. But I didn't remember ever signing them. I didn't remember ever being involved in any of it.
What is this?
Ethan whispered, his voice filled with disbelief as he picked up the page and read it aloud.
This is about you, Evelyn. You were part of this.
I closed my eyes, my head spinning. I don't remember, I said, my voice trembling. I don't remember any of this. I don't remember being involved in any of it. But the more I read, the more I realized how deep my involvement went. I had been complicit. I had been part of the very thing that had been manipulating Ethan's mind, erasing his memories, erasing my own. I slammed the file down on the desk, my hands shaking. We need to find answers, Ethan. We need to know who did this to us and why. Ethan stood up, his face hard with determination.
We will, but we need to be careful. Whoever is behind this is dangerous.
I nodded, feeling the weight of his words. The people behind this project weren't just hiding in the shadows. They were pulling the strings of our lives, erasing our memories and rewriting our reality. We'll stop them, I said, my voice steady now, filled with the kind of resolve I hadn't felt before. We have to, for both of us. As I looked at the file in front of me, a single thought echoed in my mind. If I was involved in this, then who else was? The truth was out there, and I was going to find it, but at what cost?